it's very optimistic. Its leadership is quite optimistic about what the future has to bring, in part because from the beginning, when its founder, Hedgevar, laid down the organizational framework of the RSS. And then one of his successors, Deoras, so built on that. And each of the Saksanchalaks, the heads, have added something to it. And they've created an organization which is able to train. It's very good at training people and motivating, and therefore you have a lot of people who've gone through their system, very loyal. Now, it makes certain demands, and therefore there is an attrition rate because not everybody wants to go through the demand. Like, particularly when you're younger, going to a shaka, which is the meeting every day in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, means you have to get up. And particularly if you have school or other things, that has to come after. But you go to the shaka, and if you miss the shaka, they often go by and why did you miss? Trying to see, are you really loyal to the organization that's needed? And for them, loyalty to the organization is not only building bonds with the group that you're working with in the larger organization, but it's building a kind of patriotism, loyalty to the country. That's what the hope is, that you have that, and that loyalty and that training, will help. And Hedgevar, and particularly Deora, saw it important as India is, getting increasingly complex, and it's what it does. We need organizations that address these complexities of Indian society, and one of the first was the student group. And after the Second World War, the Vidyarthi Parishad, you had a significantly large number of the children of RSS members or RSS members themselves, who were students, and particularly college students. And so the Vidyarthi Parishad organized itself to, in a sense, develop stronger loyalty among students, and ideas about how the students of India, and everyone knows students often are the most committed people in society to getting things done, most idealistic. How can we make use of this factor to build us an organization? And if you look at the RSS and some of I know you're doing now in the research you're doing, one of the interesting things to me was even then is many of the leaders-to-be went often first after their RSS training, the Shaka training, they went into the Vidyarthi Parishad because many went to college, and they would organize, at college. And so if you look at the leadership over time, and where did they spend their first field training? It was in the Vidyarthi Parishad, because not only was it a group, a student group, that was, so their minds were focused on what they considered important, learning how to, be people who could strengthen India, and then you have. I won't go through all of them because there are about 34 such organizations, which are kind of formalized. But then you have another 60 or 70 kind of quasi organizations that are linked to it. They even have one for Muslims, for example. They have another organization for farmers. They have one, the Mazdur Sangh, for workers. And maybe we can go into this later. These organizations don't always agree with leadership.